Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's K-Gibbs F1 here, and welcome to FormulaXbox Rocket League Game Week 4, and it is of course the roundup, where we go through all of the happenings for Game Week 4, and ultimately it has been a very interesting week indeed. We've had the introduction of a new team, the introduction of potential championship contenders as well, in the form of Angulation Sensations. That's an absolute nightmare for commentators like me, that name. I'm sure I'll trip over that one at some point in the commentary. But name aside, they have been phenomenal in their first week. And it all started with a game against the championship leaders, Luck. And ultimately, boy, were they up for the challenge. A 4-1 victory with Nathan AV and the Rift both scoring 2 goals apiece for Angulation Sensations, and just a really solid performance from them to get their campaign underway, and a big statement to beat the championship leaders in their first match. And well, they really did announce themselves there, but we had an even more crushing victory to come as they faced the Icemen in the next game. Kieran and Scott, of course, who have been out of action in the first couple of game weeks on the basis that Scott had no TV to play on. But you'd imagine he still had no TV to play on the basis of the defeat that the Icemen took, a 15-0 defeat against Angulation Sensations, and it was a record-breaking performance from them in as a game week. To be fair, just to give you some statistics from the week as a whole, it's 12 goals from the Rift, with 1,460 points between those 2 games, and Nathan Navy not far behind on 1,235 points. So a 15-0 win, a 4-1 win against the championship leaders, and well, what a statement to make from them. And I'm sure we're going to be looking at some championship contenders in the form of Angulation Sensations not very long down the line at all. Now, moving on from them onto the Massive Horse, who have looked very solid this week indeed. A 5-1 victory against TMC, as Dalbian scored 3 goals in that one, Insignia picking up a couple as well. Monster scored a consolation for TMC, but ultimately a 5-1 defeat for them. Not a great match at all, and not great for TMC, who want to really get their championship campaign up and running. The Massive Horse then went on to take another victory, so 6 points in 1 game week. Always very solid, as they scored 3 goals against Matkev, who could only manage 2, so a 3-2 victory for them. Now, Matkev, who of course are our Season 1 champions, let's not forget, they've had a difficult start, but they did finally take a victory against Team Estonia. It was an overtime win for them, so not quite the maximum points they would have hoped for their first win, but a win nonetheless. And in the words of Elusive Kev, who took to Twitter afterwards, holy crap, a victory. So it was a good result for them. Season 1 Golden Boot winner Dan Mack was in amongst the goals once again with 3. Jack Spar, who's once again proving to be a bit of a goal machine for Team Estonia, did manage all 4, I should say, of Team Estonia's goals, but it wasn't quite enough to claim victory for them. So an overtime win, as I said, for Matt Kev, who will look to push on from that one, no doubt about it. Team Estonia did take a victory though this week, as they won 3-1 against TMC. CK with 6 shots, only 1 goal in that one, which is one of the statistics to take away from that. So CK certainly not shy of getting a shot away, but you'd imagine he'll want to improve his conversion if they're not going to be throwing away any victories later down the line. So, looking to the scoreboard, or I should say the championship table, after game week 4, we've still got Luck in the lead on 15 points, but of course that match against Angulation Sensations, that 4-1 defeat, was their first defeat of the season, and no doubt they'll be looking over their shoulders now, because the Red Devils have got a game in hand and they're only 3 points behind. So Chris and Midge will certainly be hoping to steal a march on Luck in the next game week, and they may even take the lead of this championship fight by the end of it. Massive Horse with a very solid week, 6 points of course, doubling their points tally, and they're now sitting on 12 and sitting pretty in terms of mounting a championship assault. Disconnected United only played 4 games, 9 points from them, so they're right in the mix as well. We haven't seen them play this week, of course, but they're still right in the mix, and let's not forget about them. Angulation Sensations there, as you can see, already on the top half of the table with 6 points from 2 games, a perfect start. And take note as well, guys, 18 for their goal difference already. They're only 2 behind luck in those particular stakes, and it's only been a couple of games that after that demolition of the Icemen, that's really helped their cause. And if it does go down to goal difference at the end of this season, which you wouldn't bet against it looking at the table at the moment, then they are in a really good shape indeed. Team Estonia sitting there, played more games than anybody else, sitting on 7 played and 4 points from those. So a big win for them this week. It was their first win, in fact, so they'll be very happy with that one. And ultimately looking further down to the bottom 4 of the standings. Central Element, who've played 2, 3 points from them, so you've not really got to worry too much about the Central Element. I'm sure they'll be climbing up the table a little bit later on. The Monstrous Cushion, who've played 7 and only taken 3 points. TMC in a little bit of trouble there. They'll be wanting to put some points on the board and really mount a bit of a challenge to get out of the bottom 4 in the next few weeks. Matkev United on 4 points, played 4 there, and ultimately they'll be very happy with their first win this week. The Icemen, who've played 1 now, they've finally got a match on the board, but it was a crushing defeat for them. -15 on the goal difference, and a very tricky week indeed for them. However, they are at least playing now, so that's progress for them. So, heading towards the Golden Wheel Award, which of course changes very quickly indeed, as we've got Azar Reactions still leading the way on 15, but there's the rift. 17 shots, 12 goals, 70% conversion, and, well, that's a big statement, as I mentioned earlier, from Angulation Sensations. They're already on the board there, and Golden Wheel is in sight for the rift. That double W for luck as well on 11 goals, and further down you've got Dalbian, a massive horse who had a really good week. He's on 10 now, and Jack Sparr on 10 as well after his 4 goals for Team Estonia in their defeat against Matkev. So that has been Game Week 4 for you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that one. It's certainly been interesting to see, and certainly enjoyed commentating for my first ever FXRL official commentary. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Please address anything I've missed, and until next, I would just like to add as well, didn't even trip over once over Angulation Sensations' name. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point though, so don't bank on it being like that for next time I'm commentating. But for now, at least, we've got away with it. So thank you ever so much for watching. Until next time, we shall see you very soon. Goodbye.